Last time on Flash, right here at Comicstorian. The Black Flash has returned to purge the world of the new forces when the Source Wall fell. The Flash attempted to grab all of the new Force users, the Sage, the Still, and the Strength Force, to find a way to fight back against the Black Flash. But Psyche, the Sage user, saw what the Black Flash was and turned steadfast against everyone. After trying to hide from both Steadfast and Fiorza, Flash went out to look for Psyche, only to find him already drained of his Sage Force powers by the Black Flash. Can the Black Flash, the entity of death, save the Speed Force by killing off the users of the other force? Well, today we're going to find out, because you're at the Comicstorian channel, where we take some of your favorite comic books, video games, and movies and break down the lore and plot within into an audio drama. And today we are covering Flash 79, 80, 81. At the Speed Lab located at the Flash Museum, Fiorza shouts they are to be released at once, since Commander Cold has them pinned down there. He pulls out his gun, telling them that those restraints are for their own good. They're to keep them safe from the Black Flash. If they use their powers, he'll find them. Fiorza begins to struggle as she flexes her muscles, breaking the restraints, asking, "Who's gonna keep you safe once I'm free? Where is the Flash?" Just then a red blur stops and separates the two of them as the Flash tells them, "I'm here." And I was too late. Everyone stops to look at the body of Psyche in his arms, and Fiorza says that there's no way that is really him. This has to be one of his illusions. Psyche's death is on you, Flash. You should have let us come. As Fiorza gets ready to swing, the Flash creates a vortex, knocking her down, shouting, "Okay, that is enough! There is still a chance to defeat the Black Flash." Fiorza slowly gets up, telling him that she thought the Speed Force was getting slower, and Commander Cold tells her that it is, or at least it was. Scans show that the Speed Force is actually getting stronger now. Flash then tells them, "It is. I felt it get stronger once Psyche died." After getting Psyche up onto the examination table, the Flash asks if the Sage Force is really dead. Commander Cold looks through the readings, and then he turns back, telling him, "Not quite. The Sage Force was burned out of Psyche, but it's more like the Black Flash uncoupled it and destroyed its connection to the Speed Force. Currently, there are no traces of the Black Flash, which means it's probably retreated inside of the Speed Force, waiting for the next opportunity to strike a Force user." Flash then turns to Fiorza, telling her that they're just gonna have to beat the Black Flash. That if they're going to beat the Black Flash, they have to understand why the new forces are killing the Speed Force. If they work together, if they share their knowledge of the forces, maybe they can beat this thing. Fiorza smiles, telling him that he's always so optimistic. They want to learn about the Strength Force? Then they could talk about it all day inside the Strength Force. She punches the ground with a loud crack-a-boom, and the Flash shouts, asking, "What was that?" She laughs, telling him, "You're not the only one that can summon portals." Commander Cole tells him that he's going in. His tech should be able to scan for any clue of what they find inside. Flash tells him that they need to hurry. A show of power like that is going to attract the Black Flash. And as Commander Cold enters the portal, Fiorza stops, looking back, telling them that she knows that she called him naive in the past, but she's putting her faith in the Flash's optimism right now. Once Fiorza disappears, Steadfast turns to the Flash. "You know that there's nothing to study inside of there. You just wanted to hide us because it's unlikely that we're going to make it out of this alive." Flash slaps on his cowl, telling them, "No one else is dying. No one, Steadfast. The Black Flash is a part of the Speed Force, and it's possible that the Black Flash is using me to find the new Force users. Whatever the case, you cannot use your powers." Just as Flash and Steadfast phase out of the museum, the Flash looks over to see Iris standing there staring right back at him. Flash tries to find the words to say something, but Iris holds out her hand to Steadfast, telling her that her name is Iris West. Flash pulls Iris aside, telling her that he's happy to see her, but this really is not a good time. Iris asks, "It always isn't a good time for you, huh? Kid Flash has been captured by the rogues with Avery, right? The Flash Museum was rebuilt, so I figured that you were working together again. I just wanted to check in on you. Kid Flash has been capturing the rogues with Avery, right? The Flash Museum was rebuilt, so I figured that you were working together again. I just wanted to check in on Kid Flash. But there's something else that I wanted to talk about, and you can't wait. We need to talk about Wally." Flash tries pushing himself to talk, but he tells her that he can't talk about Wally. Iris takes his hands, asking, "You can't, or you won't? You keep ignoring it. What happened back at Sanctuary, where Wally killed everyone? It was horrible. Wally might still need our help. My memories are a mess. There's Wallace and there's Wally, but maybe we can." Steadfast begins to use the Still Force, telling her that he can help. He can help her relive the true memories, just as he did with the Flash. And Flash yells, "No! You can't use your powers, Steadfast!" Steadfast stops, telling him, "I'm sorry." And Iris asks, "Wait, what are you talking about? My true memories?" The Flash begins to tell her that he'll explain later, but before he can even finish the sentence, he feels a presence running towards them. Flash spins back, yelling to Steadfast, "You got to!" But before he can even finish that, Hunter Zolomon runs up, telling him, "Long time no see! Were you expecting someone else?" Flash begins to create another vortex, but Hunter laughs, telling him, "You're a hard person to follow. But if there's one thing that being an FBI profiler has taught me, it's not to watch the person of interest, it's to watch their families." Hunter easily moves out of the Flash's attack range and grabs Steadfast by the neck. Flash begins to shout, "Stop! You don't understand what you're about to do!" But Hunter snaps his fingers, creating a giant explosion, telling him, "It's tragic how far you'd let the Flash name fall. But for now, I'm just gonna take the Still Force user off your hands." As Hunter speeds off, Flash hardly has a chance to catch up when suddenly, the Black Flash begins to run behind them. But instead of going past, the Black Flash slams Flash against the wall, asking, "Where is Still Force?" Flash doesn't answer, and the Black Flash throws him into the computers, telling him, "Stay out of my way." Meanwhile, elsewhere, Steadfast hears the slightly distorted voice of Hunter asking, "Why did you not struggle? Why did you not defend yourself?" Steadfast looks up with a black eye, telling him, "It is not my way. I've seen the horrors of war. I know what happens when one rushes into action without thinking." Hunter stops vibrating, telling him, "We have so much in common. We both know about suffering, but what if I could make it all go away? What if I could use your powers of the Still Force to fight back?" Steadfast tells him, "You must understand, if you possess the Still Force, the Black Flash will come for you, Hunter." Hunter tells him, "I know, and I'm counting on it." Back with the Flash, he runs holding Iris, and she asks why he didn't just say that the Speed Force is dying. Did he not want to worry her? Flash says that he doesn't know all the facts, and some of that is not to worry her, yes. But also, it's not like they've been talking much. Iris tells him, "Trust her. After all of this, there's going to be a long, hard talk. Hunter's done a lot of messing things up for our families, but we can't let the Black Flash kill him." Flash tells her that she's right. That's why they're going to find out where Hunter went. Argus has a list of all of Hunter's files, but they're confidential, making them hard to access. Since Argus was destroyed, the ruins were transported to a different location, one with a lot less security. Flash suddenly stops in an unmarked warehouse filled with boxes, telling her that every shred of evidence is in this room. He begins to pull all of the files listed for Hunter Zolomon, and he begins to read them off. Hunter graduated at the top of his class and became an FBI profiler so that he could track down killers like his father. He met his wife Ashley at the academy, and his father became his mentor. Hunter was on the fast track to becoming one of the best profilers in the country until he encountered the Clown, a notorious serial killer. Hunter thought that he had the perp's profile down, but he was certain that guns were not the Clown's MO. But Hunter was wrong. It ruined his whole life and it sent him on a path to darkness. However, the issue is the gun used to kill Hunter's mentor had two sets of fingerprints on it. One belonged to the Clown, and the second couldn't be identified at the time. If we were to run those fingerprints through the Justice League's database, then maybe. As the computer scans and it pings, the Flash and Iris stare at the screen, and Flash says, "If this is correct, we have to find Hunter now." Back with Hunter at the abandoned house where his mentor was killed, he shouts, "This is where it happened. This is when my life was taken from me and no one was there to help me fix it. It was a different timeline than this one, yes, but we can both feel it, right? Death? No matter what is done, death always comes. What if I had the Still Force powers? Would I be able to change that?" Steadfast tells him that he will never allow him to have the Still Force. So Hunter punches Steadfast into the wall and begins to beat into him, asking, "What if I rip it from your core?" But before Hunter can land another punch, the Flash punches him, yelling, "I won't let this continue." The two barrel out of the house with Hunter telling him, "You should want me to win! Especially since last time we went head-to-head, you didn't exactly win, Flash. The Strength Force is making me stronger. The Sage Force makes me smarter, and I'm already faster than you." Hunter stops hitting Flash and wraps his arm around the Flash's neck, asking, "Is this how Eobard Thawne did it all those timelines ago? Ever wonder how that snap felt on your mother's neck?" As Hunter squeezes, Steadfast gets up shouting, "Stop! I will not allow this to continue!" The Still Force stops the two of them, but Hunter smiles, telling him, "I knew this would draw you out of your shell." And he begins to slowly make his way towards Steadfast. Steadfast asks, "How are you resisting the Still Force so much?" And Hunter tells him, I'm using every bit of Speed Force to do it. And now that I have felt the Still Force, we are connected, which means those powers are up for the taking. Hunter grabs Steadfast by the arm and begins to drain the Still Force out of him. And then he tosses the body aside, telling him, "Thanks, kid." Flash rushes over to check on Steadfast, but Hunter grabs him by the leg and runs off yelling, "Don't worry, Steadfast will be fine." But now that I have the Still Force, there's somewhere that I need to go. And as they come to a stop, Hunter yells, "This is it. Welcome to the Forever Force. It exists outside of space and time. Back when the cosmic treadmill exploded and gave me my powers, I got a small taste of this. The ability to manipulate time itself. I will be the greatest Flash that ever lived. No, the greatest Flash in the multiverse." Flash gets up telling him, "You can't do this. You can't change the past. The cost, it's too high, Hunter." And Hunter tells him, "Oh, you misunderstand. The pain of losing my wife hurts. But I gave up on changing that a long time ago." Flash stops for a moment and tells him, "You knew. You knew if you absorbed all the forces, the Black Flash would come for you." And Hunter tells him, "That's right. Every Flash has allowed death to take them. But what better way to prove that you're a hero than defeating death itself? No more suffering. No more pain. Come at me, death. I'm ready." And the Black Flash races at Hunter, lunging towards him. The Flash yells for him to look out and jumps in the way of the attack. Hunter spins around and begins to beat into the Black Flash, using all of the new forces to rip him apart. But Flash struggles to get back up, telling Hunter to stop. The problem is, Flash's voice cannot be heard as Black Flash extends his arm, grabbing Hunter by the head. As the forces are slowly being sucked out of Hunter, Flash gets up, releasing a concentrated Speed Force blast, knocking Black Flash away, freeing Hunter. Flash then holds out his arm to help Hunter up, telling him, "We've only got a few seconds." But Hunter smacks him away. "I am the one who will free the Flash family from death. This is my destiny. My father was a serial killer. The clown killed my mentor. All that death led to this." Flash points off into the distance, telling him, "No, look! The Forever Force that we are in. It can allow us to look through time. This was never your destiny, Hunter." Images begin to swirl, and Hunter sees one that stops before him. It shows the clown being handed the gun by Eobard Thawne. The real Reverse Flash orchestrated the death of Hunter's mentor, which caused Hunter to become the other Reverse Flash until now, when he's decided to become the ultimate Flash. Flash tells Hunter, "You were right. The clown didn't have a gun. Reverse Flash gave him the gun. Eobard manipulated your future to turn you into another Reverse Flash, and then into this, the keeper of all the forces." Hunter stumbles back, asking, "Why? Why would Eobard ruin both our lives?" And Flash tells him, "I don't know the answer to that. But when I was searching for you, I came across that gun." Hunter stands there staring at the image, but the Flash grabs him and begins to run, telling him, "Look, we gotta get out of here, Hunter. Unless we fix the Force barrier, the Black Flash will continue to come after you. There's no way to do that unless we work together. Wally once said that you were a good man, one who went bad only because of the tragedies in your life, which we now discovered are orchestrated by the real Reverse Flash. But we can leave that in the past and move on." Hunter begins running, telling him, "I know how to fix this. How I can fix this, Barry. I have to sacrifice myself to repair the Force barrier." Flash shouts, telling him, "Wait! There has to be another way! I won't let you die!" And Black Flash slowly passes through Flash, and Hunter calls back that this is the only way he can fix this, and only he can do this himself, because he has all four forces. It has to be him. Find out why Eobard did this to us, Barry. The real reason. And tell Wally, I'm sorry. I wish that him and I could have stayed friends." Flash reaches out, yelling, "Stop!" And Hunter tells him, "This is what Flashes do, right? We sacrifice ourselves to save the day." And with a thundering crack-a-coom, Hunter turns to white and he fades away. Flash stops and he looks around. He realizes that Hunter did it. The Force barrier is fixed. The Black Flash runs around looking for him, but he can't find him, and he turns his focus to the Flash. The Flash tries to run to keep ahead, but his powers are fading from before. But with his powers fading from before, the Black Flash grabs him and he begins to shout, "Die!" But as the Black Flash tries to steal the Flash's power, a shining light can be seen, and then lightning strikes with a loud crack. Outside the Flash Museum, Steadfast feels a chance in the air, and he asks if the Black Flash is gone. Iris grabs him, asking, "What did you say? Where is Flash?" So Steadfast looks up at the cloudy sky and he sees Perpetua looking down at him. He screams that there is something wrong. The past, the future, the very multiverse, it's all wrong. Iris helps Steadfast to his feet and gets him inside, but before Iris can even ask what's wrong, there's a massive explosion from outside, and the bodies of Kid Flash and Avery fly in. Steadfast shouts that this is the end. This is the end of everything. Iris runs over to Kid Flash and says that they were fighting them. Iris asks who, and then a shadow looms over and a voice tells her, "We didn't believe, Luthor, about this whole Doom wins thing, but now I believe." Iris looks up to see Captain Cole with the rest of the original Rogues, the giant Doom symbol floating in the sky. And that concludes the Black Flash arc. Now, we have a lot of questions at this point, don't we, folks? Well, let's start with the first one. Where's Barry Allen? Right now, we can find him over in the Justice League storyline battling against Doom and Perpetua. Speaking of Perpetua, who is Perpetua and what is this Doom situation? Well, Perpetua was freed from the Source Wall when the Justice League broke it in another video that we are covering. If you go watch our Justice League series all the way up to the 6th dimension, you'll see their battle against Perpetua, Lex Luthor, and what's going on there. Once Perpetua was freed, Lex Luthor then sent out the symbol of Doom to tell the world that Doom had finally won. The Legion of Doom was the winners against the Justice League. And he is funding all of the villains in the DC universe for the Year of the Villain event, giving them all the money they could possibly need to do whatever they wanted to do. With the Rogues, he gave them the power and the ability to do everything that they ever wanted to do and finally take Central City. So the next video in the Flash arc is going to be the Rogues having taken over the entire Central City and battling against Kid Flash, and we discover where Flash went. If you want to know what's happening with Perpetua and the entire Doom arc, then make sure you go check out our Justice League videos, as that is coming to its conclusion very soon, now that we're finished up here, and we're going to be finishing up Batman Beyond, and we're going to be wrapping up Spider-Gwen and Batman No Man's Land. So, I hope this explains a little bit about what's going on with the videos in the channel and what's going on in DC Comics. I hope you enjoyed the second Reverse Flash. So for those of you wondering, I am going to name this video Reverse Flash versus the Black Flash. Hunter Zolomon at this point is known as a Flash, but I added in those little caveats at the ending because for those of you guys who don't know, Eobard Thawne's the original Reverse Flash. Once Barry Allen went missing, like in the 1980s, and Wally West took over as the main Flash, he got his own Reverse Flash. He was called Reverse Flash, and that was Hunter Zolomon. In order to clean up the timeline with the rebirth situation in the New 52, they decided to officially declare Eobard Thawne as the only Reverse Flash, and then when Hunter Zolomon came back, he decided that he was going to be the best Flash. That's what he was trying to do here. So technically, they're both Reverse Flash, depending on where you look at the timeline, but Eobard Thawne is the Reverse Flash. So moving forward, Hunter looks to be dead, and there is only Eobard Thawne. And I get a feeling that that's what DC is trying to do, clean up the Reverse Flash fiasco of where there, in the end, it turned out to be 3 of them. There's a third one. We don't talk about him. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this explained a little bit about the entire Flash storyline. Are you enjoying the TV show? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the death of Hunter Zolomon. Let me know what you think about the Legion of Doom. Let me know about all of that. And I'll see you guys next time right here at Comic Historian.